Hi everyone, I am Johnnyman and welcome to a Minecraft update. Here we're going to be talking about a release we've been waiting for. I know, bad joke. Anyway, we're here to talk about the release of the Java Edition 1.15, where now it's official. All the good bee stuff is now in the official release. So I thought I'd go through those changes, a few things there, and just other things they've added into this version of the Minecraft for Java. Alright, so as you kind of see in the background, we've got some bee stuff set up here just to kind of show you what's going on. But yeah, in this Minecraft change for Java version 1.15, they've added bees finally. We'd seen that earlier in a snapshot. Oh, hello little fella, how you doing? Yeah, so they had added the bees in an earlier snapshot as a test, and I think I showed off that. It's kind of cool. But now they've added the bees, they've added the beehives, they've added bee nests, they've added honeycombs, honey blocks, and a bunch of other honey related stuff, and some other just core Minecraft stuff just to bring things up to make things a little more aligned with the Bedrock version, and so kind of sharing features back and forth to make sure they're all kind of the same experience. Alright, so first let's talk about our friends here, the bees. How you doing there, big guy? So yeah, with the bees, they're not hostile, so as long as you don't hurt them, they won't hurt you. Oh, he's just gone back there. That's cool. They love the pretty flowers, and they spend lots of time gathering pollen. And so as you'll see them flying around, I don't know if I have any out here, but you'll see that they'll have what looks like little dust falling off of them, and that's kind of the pollen that they're collecting. And also, so if you look at this guy here, their back ends will change to from this brown to have speckles on them. So when they're kind of loaded up with pollen, ready to take it back to the hive, so that's kind of cool. And they will help with crop growing, so by pollinating the crops, and I think it'll help the crops grow a little bit faster, which is kind of cool. What else have we got for bees? Yeah, so if they're out and about and they don't have a home nest, they'll keep flying until they kind of find one. And they don't like to be out in the rain, and they sleep at night, so they'll kind of go away and rest up for the night, which is kind of cool. And let's see, what else? Oh yeah, if they're flying around and they can't find any nectar, they'll just keep returning home. So yeah, if you're planning this out and plotting this out yourself, you want to make sure you got some flowers or crops around for them to keep them happy and fed, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, they go back and they make honey. As you see here, we got a beehive full of honey, and we got a nest up here also full of honey. You can see it's just dripping with honey. And so one thing you can do with that is if you have empty bottles, you can take honey out of the hives or the nests. Alright, so there are ways to get the honey out, and obviously you can use glass bottles, but you will aggravate them if you just go up here and, as you see, now they kind of have red eyes. I've kind of made them angry, because yep, they're out to get me. So, and they will sting you, and if they do sting you and they leave a stinger in you, then they will eventually die. So, and they don't drop anything, so there's no drops from them, so there we go. So they're giving off the chase slowly. There we go. I'm just waiting for this guy to... There we go. So they will be angered for a little bit if you just go up and try to steal the honey right from them. Not so advisable. And so let's see, is it still... Oh, so that's now empty. And they're coming at me. Oh, there we go. See, and I got stung. I'm getting stung here. Ouch. And it can hurt, because if you look at my health is down quite a ways, so that's... something to watch out for. So down to half a heart. But the nice thing with the honey is that when you're down, you can drink some honey to regain some health, which is kind of cool. Okay, so here we go. Here's an example of a bee that's loaded up with pollen. You can see he's dropping little bits of pollen, and he's got pollen all over him. So eventually that bee will make his way back to the hive to deposit that and eventually make some honey. There we go. He goes away. So that's just what the bees look like when they fill up with pollen from the flowers. Got a bunch of bees spawned in here, just hoping to get these full again, because I want to show you a couple other things you can do with these. But while we're waiting for that, let's just show you something else that you can do. Oh well, let me just have a little more honey. So yeah, what you can do is with 4 bottles of honey, this will let you make a honey block. So as you go, so we've got a honey block. And the honey blocks are kind of sticky. And so they let you do some really cool stuff. Like in this case, if I go up and I do slow fall. So it just slows your fall down, which is kind of cool. So you get some interesting parkour type effects with that. Also, you'll notice that it stops you from jumping. So off of the honey block, see, I can jump, but once you get on the honey block, your jumping is really reduced. But you can counteract that if you get right to the edge of the honey block. You'll see it releases you so you can jump. So you still can move along the edge of the honey block and still do a big jump. Just when you're on the honey block, your jumping is limited. Something to watch out for. And then the other thing with the slow falling is it lets you do kind of a slide if you're running against the honey blocks. So if I run up against this normally, oh, I didn't even hit it, so let's try that again. And as you go, see, I'm holding the run, and so that you can kind of slide your way down slowly. So it makes for some pretty interesting honey parkour options. And if you've watched other videos out there, you might have seen some people trying that. So we run it again, push the run while I'm on it, and just lets you slide right along it. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we're back here at the full nest, and we see that it's full of honey again. And without getting attacked, the proper way to get the honey out is if you have a campfire underneath, and the smoke from the campfire will do exactly what smoke does to bees. In real life, it kind of makes them drowsy. So now I should be able to get the honey, and there we go. See, I got the achievement, Be Our Guest. It lets you get the honey without aggravating the bees, and so they don't get hostile. All right, so now we've got a beehive here full of honey. So if you take shears to it, you will make them angry because I didn't smoke it, but at the same time you'll see that I got some honeycomb. And that's important because you'll use that to create the beehives, or you can put 4 honeycombs together. Oh, I really made them angry. We'll just kind of run away. You can put 4 together to make a honeycomb block, but the honeycomb block is just purely decorative. It has no function whatsoever. So, you know, just for designing and decorating your house. All right, so here you go. So if you take your honeycombs, you put them in a little 2x2 grid, you get your honeycomb block. And as I said, these are just purely decorative. So you can spruce your house up with them. Kind of cool, kind of neat. All right, some of the other things they've added is the iron golems will now actually show their damage with cracks on their body, and they can be repaired with iron ingots, so you can heal them. So we got a guy here. I'm in creative, so he won't get at me, but we should be able to see the progression. So if I hit him a bunch, there we go. Look. So we can see he's all cracked, but then if I come up to him and go, hey, there we go. We can heal him. So that's pretty cool that you can actually now heal your golems and keep them around. I think that's fantastic. All right, and there's just a few other under the covers kind of consistency things that they've made some changes to kind of make sure that Bedrock and Java are working the same in terms of functionality and crafting recipes. One of which is in Java, you haven't been able to sleep in a bed unless it's been nighttime or thunderstorm. Where in Bedrock, you could you could trigger the bed in the daytime, and that would actually set your spawn point. Well, now, boom, it now works in Java too. We Java players haven't had this forever, and it's such a handy thing to know that you can just set your spawn during the day. So that's pretty cool. One of the other things that they've added too is campfires can now be put out with a shovel. It's a little thing, but still, it's nice to know that it's an easy way to put out the campfires, not having to use a bucket or anything like that. And also, some of the recipes have changed. So I think a composter is now made with slabs. So it's matching what the Bedrock did. But I think the Java, I forget what the Java one was originally, but it wasn't just all slabs. And let's see, what else now have they done? They have now enabled, and I won't be able to show it because I have to go and find it. But anyway, they've now enabled parrots can sit on a player's shoulder even when the parrot is when the player is riding a horse. So that's very cool. It lets you bring the parrot along with it. Before you'd start to ride and the parrot would just jump off your shoulder. So it's a nice way to be able to slowly bring a parrot back to you and keep it with you if your base is far away once you've found that parrot. Let's see, what else have they added? Things like when mobs spawn in, and more of the animal mobs, if they spawn in as a group, there's a chance they'll spawn in babies where they weren't necessarily doing that before. So that's kind of cool. They've changed some of the in-game switches so you can differentiate different types of fall damage and such. Sponges can be dried out in the nether, where before you'd have to put them in a furnace to dry them out. So like I say, there's a lot of little cosmetic things under the covers that have changed. There's a few other things, but it's not worth going into right now. And yeah, we're just dealing with the rain here. So there's all the bee stuff. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have fun with it in your world. And I look forward to more wonderful Minecraft stuff in the future. Bye, everyone.